Yes, but between the liners, Manchester United have just drawn 3-3 away to Galatasaray in Turkey. And I think we're probably out of the Champions League. And what on earth was that? What the hell was that game? Galatasaray fans said welcome to hell before the game. And honestly, I applaud you, Galatasaray fans. You were right. Whatever that was absolutely crazy. For the neutrals, I appreciate that is an unbelievable game of football. For a Manchester United fan or anyone associated with Manchester United, overall, that's got to be a pretty poor result. I know we had some good moments within the game. Kobe Mainoo, the Garnacho goal, Bruno goal. I understand that, which I'll get into in a sec. But to be playing that style of football, and you're meant to be one of the biggest teams in the world, one of the best footballing teams in the world, and to allow a game to go end to end like that is so poor. And the amount of chances that we had that we couldn't take or couldn't create better chances from. Like I said, from a neutral point of view, I get it if you enjoyed that. From a Man United point of view, my heart is still racing. I feel like Rio Ferdinand in the commentary. Him and Robbie Savage were moving mad in the commentary, saying some mad stuff, making out bare sounds that I'm not going to try and repeat. I think I need a breather myself. I'm just recording this straight after the game. Wow, what a game of football. Unbelievable. But let's get into the game. Before the game, we knew how it was going to be. We knew it was going to be a tough atmosphere. We knew the Galatasaray fans were going to be right on top of us. We knew Galatasaray were going to be up for it. They already beat us away. Copenhagen away already showed us different type of raucous atmospheres. And if we're going to be able to cope, obviously that game was different because we had the Rashford sending off. This time, we started off well. But before I get into the positives and the negatives, let's look at the starting lineup before the game. I was glad Ten Hag brought in Amrabat, to be honest, because I think he's been a bit hard done by coming to a team. He had no preseason, remember. He come in with a back injury as well. For some reason, McTominay keeps starting ahead of him. And I know McTominay scored today, but it's just not making sense, bruv. Like, Amrabat's got to be starting, surely, but I was glad Amrabat started. Mainoo obviously got rested or dropped, however way you want to put it, which is understandable. Ten Hag was trying to protect him, and I'm going to get into Mainoo later because that boy there is unbelievable. Anthony come back into the starting lineup. Did he really deserve it? Probably not. Rashford is obviously sent off and suspended, so I guess it kind of makes sense, some kind of balance. Couldn't really stop Pellistri really in this type of game. Martial, although he played well, made sense to bring in Højlund to the starting lineup. Champions League top goal scorer, and he provides more to the team than Martial. Was there a chance to potentially play Martial on the right or Martial on the left, Garnacho on the right? Don't know, it's difficult because of Garnacho's form and obviously the wonder goal he scored against Everton, and he's probably our best left winger right now, which is crazy to say because he's only 19. But yeah, the rest of the starting lineup kind of made sense. Højlund brings that energy and strength and hold-up play and link-up play, so it made sense bringing him in. Let's move on to the positives of the game, and we'll get into the negatives after, because what on earth did we just watch? The start to the game, I think it's 12 minutes, 11 minutes in. The Garnacho goal. Wow. What a finish. An unbelievable finish on his left foot. And also the build-up play, just like the Garnacho goal against Everton, the build-up play then was outstanding. The build-up play for this first goal for Garnacho was outstanding again. A lot of the players involved from the back. I think McTominay was involved. I think Onana was involved. I think Maguire was involved at the beginning. And then we built it up. Anthony started off well in the game as well. He was involved in the goal. Bruno played a big part, played a little 1-2. Højlund, magnificent hold-up play and link-up play to do the 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes, because the ball he controlled wasn't easy. And then to pass it off to Bruno with the deft touch to take a touch, pass it off to Garnacho, through the defender's legs. Garnacho, 1 touch, 2 touch, bang, left foot, top corner. I tell you what, that finish is not easy. If you guys play football at home, you know that finish is not easy. And it was a sensational finish. And the celebration as well, just to calm down the Galatasaray atmosphere, I loved it. And I think the ref was close to giving him booking for that. But Galatasaray, he's personality, his persona, his attitude, his technical ability to be able to finish that with his left foot, and the temperament that early on in the game to silence the Galatasaray crowd. Fantastic, unbelievable. And then not so long after, usually we concede goals after scoring in this season, or these players have proven they're not capable of living up to the atmosphere of the game, which I guess is probably proven actually overall. But the second goal from Bruno Fernandes, this is why you miss players, technical players like Luke Shaw and Martinez. Obviously, we haven't got Martinez yet, but Luke Shaw, the ability to move the ball forward at the quickest opportunity, to set your teammate up in space, and for him to have time is so crucial, and something that we've been lacking so much over the course of the season. Luke Shaw has the ability, the deftness to be able to find that little pass round the corner with the outside of his boot into Bruno Fernandes, who's then capable of having enough time to look up and get a shot away. And what a shot. That's the Bruno Fernandes that we signed and that we fell in love with since he signed, after coming in about 3 seasons now. That's the Bruno Fernandes that we all love, and that's the ability he has. I don't even need to rave on about it, because you guys know I love Bruno Fernandes, and you know that he's capable of the special moments like that. It's an unbelievable goal. And again, I thought we was pretty calm after scoring, to be honest. We didn't really concede. Amrabat's position, energy around the pitch was unbelievable, I thought, especially in the first half. He was really closing down passing lanes. He was blocking down the opposition's angles. He was going across from side to side and protecting the back four. He was going down the lines to protect his fullbacks as well. A really good first half performance from Amrabat. I would have liked him to hold on to the ball a bit better, but I guess in time that can come. But in terms of his defensive work rate and defensive ability, I thought he did really well. And I think he'd be disappointed to get subbed off later on in the second half, by the way. But really protected his front post and his cover, his fullback, sorry. I thought Anthony was pretty effective in the first 20-30 minutes. When things are going well for you, I think Anthony can put in a decent performance, but when things are going against you, he kind of loses his temperament and his ability to make the right decisions. But he did start off well, so I guess that's a bit positive compared to the last half a season or so that he's had. Technically, he was keeping the ball well. He's dribbling past players well, although maybe the Galatasaray defending was a bit questionable at first. I also want to praise Maguire and Lindelof, who obviously the goals, which I'll get into in the negatives. Maguire and Lindelof, overall, I thought they had a pretty solid game. Defensively, I don't think either of them were at fault for the goals. Maguire probably did more so than Lindelof. Was really commanding presence, winning a lot of headers. And we got to give credit where it's due, man. That he's really turned up this season. Obviously, if you're a team trying to play on the front foot and you want to be playing football from the halfway line, he's not going to be your guy. But when things are going against you and the pressure and the balls are coming into the air and you're getting a wave of attacks coming at you, Maguire's probably best suited for that job. And Lindelof, I thought, didn't really do himself any harm either today. Could have been a tough battle against some physical players, and I thought he stood up well. AWB defensively did very well. Zaha couldn't get a sniff at him. I thought in possession AWB was slightly lacking, but I'll get into that. Speaking of AWB, he gets the assist for McTominay. I don't remember the last time Dalot got an assist before the Garnacho goal, by the way. And obviously that was an outstanding goal from Garnacho. Did Dalot really earn the assist? Maybe not, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka showed great composure to get the assist. I feel like we needed some of that composure in the second half, because, which I'll get into in the negatives, some of the chances we're creating or trying to create in the second half were absolutely pathetic, whereas Wan-Bissaka shows in the second half when he gets that assist for the McTominay cross. And it's a great ball across. The simple one. Sometimes just look at the man in front of you and pass it to him. He's made the run. You can see he's onside. Just give the ball to him and it's a simple goal. A lot of the times we look for the difficult pass in the box when we're trying to create chances. Wan-Bissaka, well done. Scott McTominay, well done to you for a great run from your midfield area. That's probably become his strong point, especially this season, making those late runs into the box, because outside of that, doesn't really provide enough. His late runs in and around the box are proving useful at the moment. And obviously he's got a great goal, made it 3-1 at the time. Another interesting thing was Ten Hag making early substitutions. He doesn't really do that, but you could see he was coming under the cosh in the second half, and he planned to make the substitution before we scored the third goal. But we scored the third goal. Mainu come on, and I'm going to have to take a break to talk about Mainu for a sec. Kobbie Mainu, that second half performance when he came on, absolutely sensational. I've praised Amrabat already, but Mainu come on, and honestly... he looks about 5-10 times better than Amrabat. And I'm saying Amrabat had a good game. But Mainu makes guys that I don't even want, forget comparing anyway. Mainu himself, that performance when he came on, and the little amount he did, obviously the ball was coming against us a lot, so he couldn't really do much. But him covering in the covering his back four, firstly, drifting about the pitch, because McTominay is not helping him there, by the way. Bruno wasn't really helping him there either. He's the only one going from side to side, trying to protect his back four. Done that, fine. Put in a few challenges, cool. On the ball, the kid's composure is next level. The ability to know when to protect the ball, when to put your body in front of the player and the ball to protect yourself from giving it away. The ability to find a little the simple things he does so well, and you got to praise him for. The ability to find a simple pass to the man that's 3 yards in front of you, 5 yards in front of you, or to collect it off your man who's coming under a bit of pressure, even though you got men behind you, to know that you can receive that ball and pass it off to someone else, which is going to create space for others. Sensational. His ability to turn on the ball, sensational. We saw one little bit near the end where he was on the left hand side where he just dribbled it over one guy that's trying to tackle him, ran past a couple players, passed it off to the next guy, the next attacking player. There's certain things that Kobbie Mainu, you might see in his there's certain things that you don't see in stats. One of them is the ability to make good decision making, and he's got that in abundance. For an 18-year-old kid to come into the Champions League, an atmosphere like that, after coming into the atmosphere against the Everton game at Goodison Park. Unbelievable temperament, unbelievable composure, unbelievable ability to make the right decision at the right time, and I cannot wait to see more of Kobbie Mainu. Hopefully he's going to start in more games. I understand what Ten Hag was trying to do by putting him on the bench, but I honestly think the way this guy is showing levels to senior pros around him that have been playing 5 years, 10 years plus, he's showing absolute levels of how to play football for Manchester United, and honestly it's a privilege to have him in our team. Other positives than that, there wasn't much, because let's take it into the negatives. And I thought the boys did really well to take it to 2-0 in quite early on in the game. We tried to silence the Galatasaray crowd, and that was fantastic from the boys. Andre Onana, we need to speak about it. Recently, he's had some really impressive performances, especially the last game against Everton. I thought he really started to show that he's coming of own and really starting to earn and own that number one Man United shirt, even though he's not number one. But the first goal to concede the free kick, you've set up your wall, cool. Bruno Fernandes and is behind Icardi and one of the other Galatasaray players. They've moved out the way. Bruno's not even in the way of the free kick. So I don't know. What's the point of Bruno being there if you're not going to try and block the two Galatasaray players? That doesn't really make sense to me. So something's got to be spoken. Someone's got to speak to Bruno about that. But then for Onana to make the move to the left-hand side, but he's not seen the ball yet. He's not seen the ball go that way, so why has he taken one step? And it's a big step, to be honest. It's not even a big step, actually. And then the ball that's gone past him is right near him. It hasn't even gone in the corner. And I get it had a bit of decent power from Ziyech. And Ziyech's celebration was cold, by the way. Like, he looks like he doesn't give a shit about anything. But yeah, Onana, he stepped away. And the ball's gone near him. It's almost like Could you not have put your right arm out? It's almost like he was falling to the ground. So he can't put his right arm out to stop the ball because he's putting his right arm down on the floor to plant himself, to stop himself from like falling over, to try and balance himself. But could you not have just tried to protect the ball? Why was he falling down? And why does he go down so often? There was another offside goal that Icardi scored, which was offside by like this much, by the way. It was insane. We were so lucky to not go 2-2 at half time. Or was it early second half? One of those times. But even on that chance, when Icardi scored it, Onana's on the floor before Icardi's even shot. And we've seen him do it before in other games. Like, I don't understand his goalkeeping technique. I'm not a goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. But it just doesn't make sense. Like, you're going down too easily. And then we take it to the second goal. The next Ziyech free kick. Even further out. One thing is, he's put one man in the wall, which is risky. From that far out, you don't see many other Premier League teams do that. They'd have at least 2-3 people in the wall there in that position. But I get it. It looks like Ziyech is going to cross. But Ziyech has understood that Onana's obviously made a mistake. He's obviously nervous after making that first mistake. He's hit it straight at Onana and he's parried it in through his body. You've cost us the Champions League, my guy. Because even in the Galatasaray game, previously at home, you cost us. Copenhagen game, fair enough, you saved the penalty, but we would have drawn that game anyway, even if you didn't. But you've cost us in the Galatasaray game at home. You've cost us in the Galatasaray game away. And we were playing so well. You've practically put your team on the back foot because of your nervousness or whatever you're handling. And the maddest thing is, I actually thought in the first half, before the mistake, his handling was really good. He was coming off his line really quick. He was making sensible decisions. His handling was really, really good, I thought. And even in the second half, after the goal, like, I thought his handling was pretty decent. But those 2 free kicks are so costly. And you've honestly probably cost us a place in the Champions League second round. And I hate saying that. I don't want to put the blame all on your feet. But a majority of the blame has to lie on Onana. He's cost the rest of his team. It's really unfortunate, to be honest. And I don't even want to go too hard on him, but yeah. Other negatives, let's move it away from Onana. I don't want to be too harsh on him. He's our new goalkeeper. I want him to do well. It's just 2 huge errors in this game, and it's cost us a game probably, and cost us, the team's mentality is affected by that, and it's going to be. Other than that, I thought AWB was a bit poor in possession, especially a lot of the team. We do this a lot. When we concede a goal, we are so poor in possession. It's a joke. That's why Kobbie Mainoo is fantastic, unbelievable, because he does the simple things right. If you got a guy 5 yards in front of him, please play it to him. Don't try and find the Hollywood ball 30 yards away and then you give it away and then you're back under pressure because Galatasaray are pushing all their players up at you. Come on, play the simple passes. Keep possession of the ball. Keep this crowd silent. Quieten them down. If you give Galatasaray the ball and they start running at you, the Galatasaray fans are going to start hyping them up even more, and the players are going to feed off that, the Galatasaray players. And then you're going to feed off that by being intimidated by the crowd. Simple basics. We give it away so much. Also, another thing that's not good enough is we don't. Yeah, well, I've said it links together. I said we don't hold enough possession of the ball. Our passes into Højlund and Martial in the second half were pathetic. Wasn't good enough. How do you expect them to hold up play and link up play if the passes you're giving them are so bad? You know it's a wet surface. Stop smacking it in front of them for them to chase it into no one, or their opposition keeper is going to get that. Have some common sense. Wasn't good enough. The third goal when was it Astakoglu scored? Fair enough, it's an unbelievable touch and an unbelievable strike, to be fair. He's got it off really quickly. I think he caught Onana out by surprise, but is that Onana's fault again? I'm not 100% sure. I might need to look into it again, but his positioning didn't look great. Conceding at your near post there when you're standing near your near post in the first place isn't great. Mainoo was tracking the run. Well done to Mainoo for tracking the run. Could he have done better to block the ball? Probably, possibly. If you're there and you've allowed your player to shoot, you probably should be doing better. I'm not going to go too harsh in Mainoo, but he probably should be trying to get a block in there. But Astakoglu is fantastic. He's done well. Astakoglu, is that his name? Astakoglu, right? Sounds like Postacoglu. But yeah, Astakoglu, great touch, great finish as well. Fair play to him. But Onana getting beat at the near post, I guess maybe he's caught by surprise, but he should do better. Let's move it away from the negatives. Look, match roundup. And I guess it's more negatives, but the game management of this team is lacking so hard. The fundamentals of football. Keep your head, yeah? You've allowed a game against Galatasaray who, look, they've got some good players in their side, but we've got better players. We should be doing better than that. To allow a game to go that end to end in the last 30, 40 minutes of that game, or most of that game, to allow it to be that end to end is absolutely not good enough. You should be holding on to the ball better than that. And if that is the case, some of that second half finishing or decision making was absolutely pathetic. So many times we had chances to create better chances, but guys are taking shots from the edge of the box or outside the box. Pelestri, I don't want to be too harsh on him, but decision making is so poor. You've got opportunities to pass the ball into the midfield or into the box, and you're shooting. I get it. You want to be the hero. McTominay, you want to be the hero. You're taking shots from 40 yards out. Bruno, or someone, make an easier chance to be able to finish off. We should have killed off that Galatasaray side in the second half. The amount of great half chances that we had, we could have converted into great chances, was a joke. And we haven't been able to punish them and capitalise because of greedy decision making, trying to be the superstar and trying to win the game, rather than thinking about the team and thinking how the team can do better and get the win. Dalot, even at the end, making silly decisions. Couldn't pass the ball to Martial, who's in acres of space, whereas AWB found Højlund in that situation. Dalot doesn't find Martial in that situation, and then you don't score, and then you end up drawing the game, where you could have easily got a win against these guys. These guys wasn't even good. Their defending stunk. We should have scored and created so many more chances than against this Galatasaray team, to be honest. Other than that, Garnacho, technical ability, superstarish. Unbelievable technical ability. And honestly, I thought Garnacho didn't really have a great game other than the goal, to be honest. Didn't really impact that much. I thought Pelestri had more joy in the wings. Garnacho, I thought, could have done a bit better, to be honest, in possession. He was giving the ball away quite a lot, unfortunately. So something he needs to work on, but his technical ability, fantastic. Mainu, I just want to say it again, he's a future legend of Manchester United, and I cannot wait to keep witnessing what this guy does for our team. Absolute hero, absolute superstar. Honestly, so excited to see what he does in the future games. Looking ahead, we got Newcastle away on, I believe, on Saturday, 8 p.m. kickoff. Another game where it's going to be a tough atmosphere. 3 tough atmospheres in a row. Newcastle are going to be up for it. I know they got a few injury problems. I think a couple of their players have started coming back now, like Isak, who scored 2 goals in his last 2 games, I believe. So we got to be careful. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to be confident, to be honest. It's going to be a really tough game. And Newcastle have had our number recently, especially in recent times, except the Carabao Cup. And yeah, so we've got to be careful. And I just want to say, these players have proven time and time again, when the going gets tough, they're not capable of performing. Look at today. How much of that can you legislate down to a goalkeeping error, or maybe potentially 3 goalkeeping errors though? And I know I'm blaming the team overall, but how much can you blame the team to legislate for Onana making potentially 3 goalkeeping errors? We've scored at Galatasaray for the first time in our history at their stadium, so that's a positive. I get it, but I was going to say, we always crumble under this team recently, especially the Mourinho, Oli, Ten Hag. When the going gets tough, these players crumble. Something we have to worry about. Newcastle away. Hopefully we go into a positive mindset, because we did start off really positive in this game and we're showing signs of life. 5 wins out of our last 6 in the Premier League. Look, let me know in the comments what you guys think of the game. I feel so conflicted. As a neutral, as a football fan, unbelievable game of football. As a Man United fan, my chest is actually hurting right now, real talk. Oh, my heartbeat's beating irregular and that. Anyway, this is your host, Adnan. This is Between the Lines podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Get in the comments and let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you think of Kobbie Mainoo. See you on the next one. Peace out. Between
Martin.